Last Jedi, after seeing it for the third time today, my favorite Star Wars movie. Honestly, to be completely honest, is my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's almost mine. I don't think anything's going to dethrone Empire.
Yeah, I still like Force Awakens a little bit more than Last Jedi, just for I think it's because JJ's more of an exciting, like, his movies just have a level of, like, pop to them, right?
Okay,
just
so
like, woo, woo, woo.
Here's what I want you guys to do. And you saw the laundry list of shit that I put out on the chat that we had earlier there, Brian, where I'm like, you need to pay attention to people's faces, because this was the best acted Star Wars I think that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think The Last Jedi is the best movie of Star Wars. Like, I think it's the best overall filmed. I think it's the best done movie. I just don't think it's the most entertaining of all of them.
Okay, yeah, no, I can get behind you there. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the scene when Laura Dern, when Holdor.
Oh shit.
That is the best scene I've ever seen in Star Wars. It is, like, I'm literally, like, held my breath when it went silent. I was just like,
yeah. And to be completely honest,
I feel really bad. I feel really, really bad for anybody that was not in the same theater as Jay Whittaker when that happened.
What did he do?
Why?
Well, the theater was dead silent. But good old buddy Jay, who was just like right in front of me, goes, "Oh shit!"
Now, for people that don't know, Jay Whittaker is a very boisterous African American gentleman. So when Kyle's not doing it justice, he's not doing it justice.
No,
I don't know if you guys caught on. So when she started turning the ship,
oh, she knew what she was doing. That's what I was going to say. Is that watching this for the third time today, watching everybody's faces very closely this time, because that's what I decided to focus on this time, is everybody's faces instead of what's going on in the scene. The guy that works on the bridge with Hux, he knew some shit was happening. He's like,
oh yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if you guys are caught up on Rebels, and one of the things that Rebels has done is, if you watch The Last Jedi, of all the movies, I know Rogue One tied in obviously directly to Rebels, with it had the ghosts and
yeah, so cool.
And that stuff in it, but this movie had a lot of things from Rebels. Like, they do that in Rebels, where they ram the ships and jump to hyperspeed. That's why when she starts turning the ship, I'm like, they're not going to do this. They're not going to do this.
Nope, they're going to do this. They're going to do this.
And it's just, oh god, it is such. One of the criticisms I read is that somebody said the rumors are true. There's no writer room. They're not going to. They don't. This isn't Marvel. They're not tying them all together. Now, that is true to an extent. Rian Johnson wrote his own story, without really consulting JJ. They talked a little bit, but this was his direction to go. But their writing room, they are laying the groundwork for these things, and you're starting to see them. I'm currently playing Battlefront 2.
They have a whole fucking team of people, and that is their only job.
Well, I think the people that don't see or don't realize that are people who aren't paying attention to everything else, right? Yeah. So, I'm playing Battlefront 2. I just beat a level where I get to be Luke, and one of the things he does is he goes into one of the Emperor's store, rooms on an off-world, and he gets that compass. That compass.
Oh, the red crystal.
There. Yeah. In with the books in the movie, right? And it's just like, I'm like, oh, the compass.
Yeah, tiny little things in Rogue One when they're on Scarif. Yeah, they find the hyperspace tracking.
I
nope,
missed
that's
that
not
one.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember sending it to you guys. I was like,
why are people so mad? It's Star Wars. They make up science all the time.
Well,
it doesn't match what I wanted. That's what I thought it would be.
They can't do that. Perfect. Oh no, it's not like they couldn't develop new technology or anything.
It's not. Listen, I did not like the O.J. Simpson car chase being the main plot of this movie. Right? I would have liked to do something a little bit different, but
it works.
However, there is a reason that Leia decided, or the fleet decided to drop out at that point. There's a reason why they did that, because they had a final fuck, we're all going to die kind of plan, Yeah. If we need to, this is what we can do in order to, survive. And that's the point where they reach, where they're like, shit, we just lost our entire bombing crew. We just...
What I didn't understand is, why didn't all the ships go in different directions in hyperspace?
Makes sense. I mean, that's the best way, is to be scatter,
I love this movie, and I'm not going to pick apart a movie like Star Wars. yes, there's always plot holes in Star Wars. It's fucking space wizards, right, with laser swords. I think Luke said it best.
Well, when fucking Han Solo in the very first movie we see him, like, I did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, and everybody's like, George, that's not a unit of time. That's a unit of distance, you know?
Yeah, that's a measurement of distance.
He's like,
George.
Fuck, how are we going to make this work?
I mean, if you want to pick apart Star Wars, you can literally just destroy them, right? You have to kind of check your brain out a little bit.
Now, look at A New Hope when they go in the cantina.
There has to be a suspension of disbelief. You can't argue space physics.
Well, and here's my thing. I think Rian Johnson's a very talented writer and director. I do think he could have written he needed everybody to be able to get together for the end because he had a point we wanted to get to, and he decided that this is the direction he's going. I think it's fine for what it was, right? Even, the Canto Bright, the casino world, for those of you who don't know what Canto Bright is.
Loved it.
Yeah, people say it's useless. I don't think it's useless.
No, it played a very important part in the plot of the movie, for fuck's sake.
Think about the story arc that Finn and Poe both go on because of that. Yeah. And I don't want to leave out Rose because she had a very intricate, role in this. But look at Finn. The very beginning of this movie, he's exactly where we left him. He's running away, right? He's a coward. Yeah. He's running away. By the end of this movie, because of what Rose taught him and what he learned, he's willing to sacrifice himself to stop the First Order, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge story arc. And look at Poe. He's learned because he killed everybody. He basically killed the Resistance because if he had never sent them to Canto Bright, Hodor's plan would have worked. You want to say Hodor.
And he said Hondo, too.
Lauren Dern's plan would have worked, and they would have all got away scot-free. But instead, because Poe decided to do what he does, they find out, kill almost everybody in the Resistance.
Yeah.
And so Poe learns, he's going to be the leader in the next movie. He's going to be Princess Leia's character in essence.
Yeah, it's going to be General Dameron.
And,
these characters have these massive arcs, and for people, I don't know how they don't see them.
Yeah, I don't get how so many people didn't catch on to the fact that complete and utter failure is like the major thematic.
Yes. Everybody fails
of here.
Now, us jaded 30-somethings, almost 40-somethings, we realize that fucking up big is a great teacher. We are the Luke Skywalkers. We are the
part of life.
We don't have the starry-eyed way of thinking about things. We don't have the benefit of being Rey and Finn where we're allowed to make mistakes anymore,
And that gets me to my biggest complaint with people whining about The Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. Did we all imagine in our childhood, especially if, like this guy, Luke Skywalker was your hero, did you want to see him doing backflips with his laser sword and just destroying everything, being the awesome Jedi Knight that you always imagined? Of course, that's ultimately inside what
that's
you wanted.
What everybody wanted to see.
But did it make any sense for him to be that character? No. And people are like, that's completely against his character. Oh, okay, so you're telling me that a guy whose dad was basically Hitler, who had darkness inside him, who knew failure, who was a whiny little punk kid on Tatooine, maybe had a moment of darkness that he became immediately ashamed of and went into hiding. So you're telling me that no Jedi Master has ever failed and gone into hiding, ever?
Oh, I don't know, Yoda.
Maybe
Yoda essentially let Darth Sidious come to power, and then Obi-Wan let Darth Vader come to power.
And I love how Luke laid that out. Like, he just laid it out. Like, the Jedi are failure. I'm a failure. I had to go away, right?
Yeah, the Jedi's legacy is failure. I think is what he said. And
I love that he turned back into a whiny little kid on Tatooine when Yoda showed up, and he's just like, "I've missed you, young Skywalker." And he's like, "What? I failed, and I didn't do it." And Yoda's just like, "What is it?
Missed you, I have, young Skywalker."
It was so great.
I love that we got crazy, but spent way too much time alone. Yoda.
You mean this Yoda?
Oh,
this one right here?
Just crazy, just batshit.
Yeah,
I love
with the snake.
I honestly, and then at the very end when Luke, yes, there are some. I can understand the argument that maybe it would have been more. People feel like it'd been better if he would have shown up in person and died instead of the Force Ghost and died. But I was talking to my brother. He made a really good point. He very rarely makes good points. But
your brother's a shithead most of the time there, Brian. I'm not afraid to say it.
Like I said, he very rarely makes good points, but on this point, he made a good point. Luke had become a pacifist. Luke did not want to fight anymore. And ultimately, he was able to maintain his vow, basically to not fight anymore. He didn't fight. Think about it. He did not pick up a weapon again. He went there and he projected himself and saved everybody without actually fighting. So he was right in some ways. He took himself out of the fight and still was able to be a hero, right? And it basically says you don't have to fight to always be the hero. You can have other ways of being a hero.
Right. But yeah, it would have been awesome if he had shown up. But we had at that point in the story already established the fact that his only fucking way off the planet was
submerged. Yeah.
Well, and for those who said he didn't raise up the X-Wing, the door was made of the X-Wing wing. That X-Wing was destroyed.
It was destroyed. It was in the water way too long. No way.
Anybody who knows X-Wings, you need an astromech.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise you can't make the jump.
And R2 went away.
Yeah.
So, but I do love that. My second viewing. I haven't had a chance to see it a third time, but you know what? I got so much like that fight between Kylo and Luke.
And
at the very end,
that's what I want to get to here in a second.
It's so much more epic the second time I watched it because I had all these expectations before you realize he's a Force ghost or a Force projection, which you should have known immediately because the lightsaber had already been destroyed.
The lightsaber was different. He didn't have any gray hair. He had a haircut.
But I think we're so excited for this, you just kind of forget about that, and you're like, woo.
The first time watching that, he walks in, and my first thought was,
how the fuck did he get there?
He fucking dyed his hair and cut. He stopped for a haircut. He stopped at a barber.
I figured the little Force nurses or the little Octu nurses.
Yeah,
gave him a nice.
He cleaned himself up to go into go into battle.
But
okay.
At the very end, when that last little thing he has with Kylo is so powerful, especially the second time, because you're focused on what he's saying and not what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
When he says, everything you just said is wrong. And then he's like, I will not be the last Jedi. And it immediately cuts to Rey and all the rocks just float.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about
whoever did the editing for this movie deserves a fucking standing ovation because like when Finn was like, where's Rey? And it flashes over to Rey. I'm like, that's funny. Like, that's great. But when we were talking about the whole Kylo versus Luke thing, we need to wrap this up. God damn it. We can talk about this movie for hours and hours and hours.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I love talking about this stuff, but we have an agenda. However, the fight scene that happened when Kylo finally decided to do his whole mad sprint at Luke and do the slash, next time you guys watch it, look at Kylo's face as soon as he finishes that slash. His face is telegraphing, Jesus fuck, what the hell did I just do? Did I just kill my mentor? Did I just kill my uncle? Did I just do something terrible? Because he said, strike me down and I'll be with you forever. So he immediately he had regrets after doing that slash.
See you around, kid.
Yeah, and he said, see you around, kid.
That line is so fucking perfect.
Well, and Kylo, if you don't think Rian Johnson's a great director, then think of from this one. After we watched The Force Awakens, everybody's like, you
whiny bitch,
killed Han Solo. I hope you burn in Jedi Sith hell, right? And but in this movie, not only he still manages to bring him back. Rey sees the good in him. He's consistently fighting against the light side. He can't kill his mother. He can't, he doesn't want to kill Luke Skywalker. Or like you said, he immediately has regret when he thinks he's killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, they continue to show the struggle within him. Rey has the darkness in her. The theme of this movie is that darkness and light are two things in the same, right?
They're both sides of the same coin. Yeah.
Kylo is dark, wants to be dark, but continues to fight. Here's the light calling to him. Rey is good, but she has no problem with the darkness calling to her.
Yeah, because she solved that riddle of the mirror cave like in seconds.
Which is why the lightsaber blew apart, because they were both equally strong in what they were, and they're the same. They're both good and bad, and neither one of them had the advantage, and it just.
And you could bring up more symbology here, where that lightsaber belonged to both a hero and a villain. And it couldn't choose. It couldn't choose. The Kyber crystal could not choose who to go to.
Yeah,
natural Kyber crystals will go towards a light user instead of a Sith every fucking time.
Yeah, and Rey is not a Mary Sue. Anybody who says she is,
no.
They answered that immediately in this.
Yeah,
Snoke, R.I.P. I was glad to see Snoke die, by the way. I hated him. I never liked this.
Well, and everybody's like, oh, we didn't get the backstory. fuck you. We're not going to get a trilogy.
Backstory?
No, you don't.
Do you need a backstory for him?
He's an evil house. We're going to get it in comic books.
I'm sure we're going to get it. But in this movie, did you need it? No.
I keep hearing the rumors that the next animated series after Rebels is going to be a Luke Skywalker focused one that takes place after Return of the Jedi. So
I'm cool with that.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'll love watching that.
Hopefully voiced by Mark Hamill. How great would that be?
I'm sure it would be.
Yeah.
How could it not?
Does it really matter? The most important thing that Snoke did in this is confirm what Rey was. That the Force has to be balanced. And when Luke shut himself off from the Force, it chose another to be its champion, its vessel. You know, it kind of carried on the chosen one without all the weird midichlorians and Jesus birth. You know, he lays it right out there. I'm tired of people like, how does she become so powerful? You can be strong. She's not trained in the Force, but she's strong in the Force, right?
Exactly. And people need to read more about the lore. They're just they're seeing scratching the surface of this kind of thing and not realizing all of the subtext and all of the extra stuff.
I don't think you need to read the lore.
You don't have to.
No, you don't. It helps, but
you enjoy it so much more.
A big part of it is her belief in herself and her confidence.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie and throughout The Force Awakens, she doesn't really believe in herself. And she is not. I love hearing the Mary Sue thing because it's like, she was a good pilot. Like, did you fucking see her fly the Falcon into the ground?
She kept hitting everything
several times.
Oh, well, how'd she learn how to lightsaber fight? I don't know. I thought JJ did a pretty good job of showing that she knew how to handle herself with her staff. She beat the shit out of everybody who tried to attack her in that movie.
It's not that drastically different.
Which would make me love her.
She wasn't even really that good.
And she wasn't like flipping around her back and doing circles and
I would love to see her using a double-ended lightsaber, in the next
that's
one.
I'm calling that right now. That is going to be her next lightsaber in 9 is going to be a Darth Maul style.
Well, she seems more comfortable using that kind of weapon.
She's just going to turn the staff into the lightsaber.
I mean, Jesus, she was knocking on Luke's door with it because she's more comfortable with that in her hand than anything else. We're reaching for stuff, though. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed our descent into geekery.
Talk about it for hours.
I guess we can make this an actual geekery episode.
The Porg.
They better be back for the next one.
Which is a goddamn genius way of making this with people.
Dude, the humor. Anybody wants to complain about the humor? Shut up. It was perfect.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Guess what? There was humor sprinkled throughout the original trilogy too.
Guess what, guys? Kids movie.
Whatever. Hey, you know what? Anyway, X. Move on.
Yeah.